Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Flannel Guy MMA, coming at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about how Jon Jones is afraid, and it's not even funny anymore. He's not even hiding it anymore. He is 1000% afraid of Tom Aspinal. So if you guys are not aware, Jon Jones, Stipe, and Tom Aspinal are all bickering and fighting on Twitter like children. Well, let me correct that. Jon Jones and Stipe are being children. Tom Aspinal just wants to smack them both around in the octagon. For the life of me, I don't understand why Dana is tolerating this, man. Like, it doesn't make sense as to why Dana is just putting up with this. It does not make any sort of sense. I don't know how many times I can say it doesn't make sense, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around why Dana is putting up with this, and I can't come up with any feasible solutions inside my head. Jon vs. Stipe was really never a crowd-pleasing fight. I have not met anyone who is super excited for Jon vs. Stipe. It doesn't have that appeal. Stipe hasn't fought in close to 3 years, 2.5 years when the fight was scheduled, but Stipe hasn't fought in 3 years, and the last time he fought, he got folded up like a lawn chair by Francis. So why am I going to watch him fight fat Jon Jones? It really just doesn't appeal to me. And at the same time, like, Jon doesn't feel like the real champion because he just laid on top of Ciryl Gane. Like, a lot of people feel like Ciryl wasn't the right choice to fight Jon Jones at the time. Now, looking back in March of 2023, I really don't know what the heavyweight rankings looked like. I know Tom wasn't at the top. He also was coming off that injury. I don't know where Sergey Pavlovich landed in the rankings, but I mean, maybe Sergey should have fought Jon Jones. I really don't know, but did Jon Jones pick Ciryl Gane, or did the UFC say, hey, Ciryl Gane's the best we have? I don't really know, but Jon Jones is the champion. So you fast forward to November, Jones gets hurt, which I still think is fishy. I saw the video. We've all seen the video of him getting hurt. It looks a little fishy, but whatever. Tom and Sergey step up on short notice to fight for the interim belt. This is the first red flag because if Stipe was ready to go, Stipe said the whole time, I'm not the one who's causing problems. It's Jon. Jon's being hard to work with. I'm being very easy to work with. We all know that's not true. But if Stipe was ready to go, why didn't he fight Tom? Why didn't he fight Sergey? If he was clearly game to fight, so why didn't he fight either one of them? Is it because he knows he's going to get knocked out by up-and-coming talent, or is it because he really wants the Jon Jones fight and he feels like he can beat Jones? Personally, I don't know. I don't know Stipe personally. I don't really think any of you know Stipe personally, but why, if he was game, did he not fight either of them? So you have Tom and Sergey fight for the interim belt. Tom starches him, barely takes any damage. I think Sergey landed like 1 or 2 punches, but Tom starches him in like 1 minute and 3 seconds, knocks him out, clean finish on the ground. He's now the interim champ. It is January, 2 months later, and we still don't have any word of who's going to be fighting in the heavyweight division. Why is Tom not fighting Stipe at UFC 300? That would be a pretty big main event. People like Tom, and it would be cool to see Stipe have one last ride at UFC 300. Now, I know I just said that no one wants to see Jones versus Stipe, so why would anybody want to see Aspinal versus Stipe? And I don't know if Aspinal versus Stipe would do crazy numbers, but let's put it this way. They both want to fight Jon. Jon wants to fight Stipe, so put Tom versus Stipe as the main event for UFC 300. You still need a main event. It can't be Leon versus Bilal. So you have them fight, and the winner fights Jones. I don't see why this is such a big deal. I also don't know why the UFC isn't just booking this. Like, just book it. It makes sense for the UFC. It makes sense for the heavyweight division. You have an interim champion who's game, who wants to fight. You have a champion who's hurt. So why would you not have the interim champion defend the belt in the interim while the champion's hurt? Then the winner of that, let's say Stipe wins that fight by some miracle. Stipe is now the interim champ. So you have champ versus interim champ. Jones versus Stipe just got a little bit more interesting because they both hold a belt. But if Tom beats Stipe, then you still have interim versus champ. It's awesome. It works. Not only does it work, it works for Jones as well. Jones wants the legacy fight. He wants to beat the greatest heavyweight of all time. He wants to beat Stipe. If he doesn't fight Stipe, he still fights Tom. Everyone considers Tom the best heavyweight right now. So if you're the champion and you're not considered the best heavyweight, 1, that's a problem, and 2, that's your chance to make a statement. Every single person, myself included, thinks that Tom is the real champ, thinks that Tom is the baddest man alive. So if you're Jones, why do you not see that as an opportunity to not fight Tom and put a nail in the coffin of your legacy? Like, you're all about legacy, you're all about record, you're all about your resume. Add Tom Aspinal. Right now, Tom Aspinal is a stronger name to add to your resume than Stipe, and that's just a fact. Now, I understand that right now Jones is probably thinking of longevity. He's probably thinking, what are people going to think of my legacy, my resume in 10 years from now? And that's honestly a very hard question to nail down, because we can't see 10 years into the future. We can't see how this Stipe win will age. We can't see how Tom Aspinal is going to be as a fighter. Let's say in 3 years, Tom Aspinal's champ, he's defended the belt 5-6 times. That would have been a better win for Jones to take than Stipe. Stipe hasn't won a fight since 2020, and it was against an old Daniel Cormier. Now, I'm not here to take anything away from Stipe. I think Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time. He has the most defenses. He has a very impressive resume. But at this point, he doesn't have anything left to prove, and neither does Jones. That's probably my biggest issue with this fight. No matter who wins the Jones versus Stipe fight, no matter who loses, they're both going to retire that same night or the next day. The person's going to have the belt for 5 seconds and then retire. So what's the point of having this fight? It's very clear that Jones wants out. Jones wants one more fight and he's out. It's not super clear what Stipe wants, but you would think that Stipe wants to beat Jones and then retire. So you have two heavyweights who are going to fight, who are both then going to retire. So the win basically means nothing. If I was the UFC, if I was Dana White, I'm scheduling Tom Aspinal versus Stipe for UFC 300. The winner fights Jones in the fall. That's a massive card. I don't understand why Dana isn't making this happen. So yeah, I just feel like I had to talk and rant about the Jon Jones heavyweight situation right now because I think it's silly. I think Dana's tolerating way too much from Jones and Stipe right now. So I think it's ridiculous. So make sure to drop a follow, like the video, and go follow me on TikTok. I post short videos all the time. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.